Hey everybody, welcome back.
Hey guys, welcome back.
We're still in the middle of the case. We just figured out that the statue doesn't have any paperwork in it, and
I kind of figured the instant that Mia died that he was going to take the paperwork because he knew where it was, and there was no reason for him to leave it there if he was looking for it.
Yeah.
I'd also like to apologize if you guys suddenly hear the door open and close. It is because I have walked out because I am super high key right now, and my feet and my legs just do not want me to stay still.
I guess that sort of makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
All right.
Would you care to explain to the court the meaning of all this? Well, as you can see, the clock was empty. It wouldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar.
You can see her eye twitching. Fat?
Well, Miss May? You wanted to do Edward's voice, didn't you?
You were doing it earlier. You cut me off from doing it. Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright.
He knew the clock was empty? Somehow he knew.
Yeah, probably because he was given a big list of all of the evidence and was allowed to see it. No, wait, he wouldn't have been able to see it because Phoenix took off with it during the evidence collection.
Yeah, probably.
I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty as you say. It can't ring. However, we must ask when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. There's no way to prove that, though. There's no way to prove it was before it.
Nope, there is. Also, I think I'm going to be voicing Edgeworth for a bit.
Okay.
There is a way to contradict this, and I just realized it. Pull up the court record.
It's the phone.
Yeah, it's the phone call because that was before the event. Because
how do I get this admitted, though? Because it's not admitted into court evidence yet.
We're gonna need to bring it up somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. That's true. That's a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. That's exactly what happened, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Ho! Impossible, of course. I have proof. What?
Yep, he does have proof because it was admitted into my trusted care along with the clock statue at almost the same time.
Yeah. Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves the clock was removed was the phone. Oh, I think you pressed the wrong button.
No, I clicked onto it and it immediately brought
Can you
this
go back? Yes, present.
Oh. Yes, I pressed the wrong button.
Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone, Mr. Wright.
Oh, thank you! No, wait, it's not mine.
Oh, you have a girly phone. Wait, this isn't my phone.
My phone is way more pink.
Okay, listen. This is the defendant's cell phone. It contains recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order, order. The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention.
Oh, look, he's freaking out. He's got the crazy-eyed stare. Look at him.
Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it. Meh. The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. Gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Okay, let's hear the conversation.
So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then? If you could. I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working, that's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. September 5th, 9:27 a.m. A full 12 hours before the murder, right?
Yeah. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time it was recorded. Which was, well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Eh? Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know the weapon was a clock?
When everyone else thinks it's a statue because it has no... You would have no idea it's a clock unless you were hearing it somehow.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was it again? I go to so many. It's from... It was a personal gift made.
Yeah, keep digging that grave.
Oops, I forgot.
So the witness had seen it before, that would make sense. Judge, you were in the case in which this was here. I'm gonna have to oppose this. Witness claims she had seen it before. But this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness had not seen the clock before. The clock, sir. It has Larry Butts' name on the bottom of it. So it does! Clock was never in any store ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only 2 exist in the world. And the one that isn't here is in police custody. Everything is sold in stores. Ms. May, I think it's high time that you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not on sale today?
I love Phoenix, he's amazing. That's an ugly face. What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die! Good to know her personality. It's absolutely ugly.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's a court of law, and the witness will remain calm.
Oh. Silly me. Did I, like, lose it? I guess I did. Wink.
Scary. Ms. May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the clock was a weapon? Sorry, the weapon was a clock.
It looks like her face is from, like, a JoJo cartoon, and the rest of her is still from the Phoenix Wright cartoon.
So, a JoJo cartoon.
Anime, sorry.
Yeah. Oh dear. Does the defendant have an opinion on this behavior? Does the defense? Yeah. Okay, this is it. Your Honor, allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because you had heard about it.
Because there's no way we can prove she was in the apartment.
Yes.
In fact, it's very likely she was not in the apartment.
Okay, I'm gonna make a cursory guess. Just based off of the evidence that is in front of us. The way that we need to go about this is to claim that she is an accomplice to the case because of the wiretap that she has. Basically, she was across the way to basically act as an alibi or some sort of corroborator for the killer. Basically being like, oh, now I see that people are here, I will call the police.
How do we do that without getting us arrested for theft, though?
That's okay, this is the Phoenix Wright world. As
You
long
can-
as you're in a court of law, you
can't-
can't be accused of anything.
Because we need to get this thing admitted and this removed.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this
That's the floor plan.
Okay.
It's for, I can't remember which one it is, but we're gonna need to prove that, that there's nowhere... Oh, that was it. At some point, we're probably gonna need to talk about, like...
How the lamp
Because
fell down?
May said that she ran in one direction, and so, like, she was very key about that. So I think we have to say, like, no, is like...
And there's no way she could have seen it, because how did that lamp fall down? This lamp here in the lower left-hand corner, how did this lamp fall down?
Yeah, that's...
If it's in the corner of the room, she would have needed to run there and then either gotten dragged or ran back.
Oh,
And
then again,
that's the thing.
she
I've
could have been
never
behind the
realized.
desk, ran out, knocked over the lamp as she was running towards the
But
door.
that's
That's still a very long
But
way to
it's
run.
still relatively the same-ish direction.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, let's just...
where was the thinker? Was it? No, it was behind her on that desk there.
It was probably on the desk or the side table. Okay, let's
Yeah, sorry,
continue.
I don't even know why I brought that out.
Okay. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That's correct, Your Honor.
I love the way his head moves.
An entire nod.
It looks like his head snaps forward at 90 degrees, snaps back like a demon.
There's no way she
Jeez.
could have known the thinker
This
was a
is
clock.
right, though. This is the only way she could have known. She wasn't in the apartment. There would have been cursory evidence that she was in the apartment. Because... Wait a second.
Did you just realize
Shouldn't
something?
Maya have seen someone run out?
The
That-
murder
that's-
must have been done like several
Within
minutes,
seconds.
several minutes before she even like came towards the building.
I'm just having
But
trouble.
it must have been after
I know this is
May
a point.
came into it because she had 2 drinks.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. Unless... I know that this isn't a point in her favor. How did the murderer not leave without being seen? Because we know he had to have gone in there and either gone through the window, which we know was open. We know that the window was open at the time of the murder, or at least the blinds were closed.
I believe it's on a 2nd story, so...
But that's still not a super long way to fall or jump, especially if the nearby building is super close. He could have easily jumped from one building. Well, no, actually knowing how the murder
It might as well be in another dimension, for all we know.
Yeah, he could
the
have,
other
like,
building is in
ported
another
himself
dimension,
out.
yeah. Okay. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting.
I know it is.
Let's see it then. You've been talking to yourself for a while, you must have at least some piece of evidence. She heard it was a clock, the wiretap. Have a look at this.
That.
I found this in Miss May's room.
And he doesn't even have to specify where he found it in the room. It could have been, for all we know, left in the doorway.
Yeah, because in the
Which
Phoenix
is-
Wright world, if you're the defense lawyer, you might as well just be a private investigator, so you can actually get away with larceny.
I mean, no one else will help you, so
No,
might
there
as
have
well.
actually been moments in which he steals from a private citizen to show the evidence to someone else.
I mean, that is what just happened right now, so it's not like it's in the future. It just happened.
Yeah. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia Fey's phone,
Because
were you not?
the phone had missing screws.
Yeah,
It
and
was
the police can
pre-wiretapped.
corroborate this because they've already taken that into consideration. Your Honor, this is irrelevant.
No, it's not. How did she hear about the clock?
I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. Troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap.
Which was illegal
Although,
without someone in the office's consent.
right, how do you prove that this is actually her wiretap and not something that you just crafted from from an art supply store? It was like he puts like a thinking face and he's like sitting there sweating for like 20 minutes. It's like, I guess she didn't have a wiretap. No, literally, some cases would actually get thrown out if the judge actually asked that question of, could this possibly be fabricated? Uh-oh. This is outrageous.
We could listen to it. Is there a way to listen to it?
We would have to hook it up to a special type of machine that the police would own. But
Gumshoe is still here.
Yes, he is.
We
still
could have
here.
him run and grab it. He's a strapping dude.
We might actually like have to cut the case short. Like go on take like a day off for the police to investigate and then come back and then reconvene.
But that's what would happen in a real court case. This is a Phoenix Wright court case.
Some cases in this take like 3 days.
Yeah. This is true, but this is the second case. I doubt they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Even though they probably should, because that's probably in keeping with actual law practices. Although I'm not an expert lawyer, I did consider that once when I was in middle school to be a lawyer, but I'm not recently brushed up on law.
You're not as cutthroat as people who actually do become lawyers.
I could have been, though.
Yeah. Okay, so Phoenix is confirming. Even if that was the case, which is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What?
She said it was a clock on the phone.
Yes.
We just heard it.
Edgeworth. You're slipping.
Edgeworth, honey, I love you. But we just heard it.
Here's my proof. Proof the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock.
This, right?
Let's check it. The clock isn't talking now. Yep. She said the thinker and the clock.
The thinker and the clock in the same sentence. It's that.
I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Maybe you just didn't hear that part.
Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on to for me. Again? What is it this time? It's a clock. It's made to look like that statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time.
Ms. April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this exact conversation.
Which is how they knew it was still in her possession.
And that's how you knew the thinker was a clock.
Oh,
am I wrong?
Yes! Oh. We've got you dead to rights.
Your Honor, this is ridiculous.
No, it's proof.
Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May, you could just say no.
We will hold you in contempt.
You could...
Shut up, all of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer.
I'm a judge.
It's not fair, Olive, you ganging up on me like that. Oh, I'm the bad girl. Is that it? Is that it?
That did. The court's seen the real Miss May, Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. Why the wiretap?
We don't have proof she did it. We don't have proof she was even anywhere near the room.
Yeah.
We don't even have proof that she was the one who wiretapped it. All we know is that it was in her possession in a hotel.
At the time of the murder.
Mm-hmm. And that she was
No,
defensive.
that came from the,
She is
the
at the
scene
least,
of the murder because the phone was dismantled, which we know was which was normal up until that day.
and we know that she is guilty of at least conspiracy.
Yes. That gets her like 5 years in prison just by itself.
Mm-hmm. But this court case isn't about her. It's about Maya.
Yes. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question.
Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't this tippy-tapping relevant?
She's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone.
We could get you on murder right now, actually.
I hardly call that irrelevant.
Because unless she confesses to something or gives us another name, we could convict her.
And again, if she
For
just saying,
first-degree
I was
murder.
given the wiretap after the murder,
By my
that
boyfriend.
still...
Makes her conspiracy. But
That-
it's a lower charge.
It's conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that she is effectively an accomplice and she would still get prison time for it.
Yes, but she wouldn't get as much time, and she would not be guilty of the death penalty.
But for her to
it.
actually, like, get the form of plea, she would have to actually say who gave her the wiretap.
She would have to enter a defense.
Yeah, she would have to enter a
bargain.
plea. A plea
plea
bargain.
bargain. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I know some law.
I've watched enough Criminal Minds to know what I'm talking about.
Like 6 years ago, maybe. Not recently.
Yeah.
And most of my
Law and Order's better anyway.
most of my law knowledge comes from studying actual law.
Well, you were
Law.
studying the law, I was studying the blade.
No, I was looking up because I like to write. So my internet history is full of things like, you know, how much time would you get if you committed triple homicide and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
it would
certain
be-
I'm on some
you could
kind
get
of FBI
you could get
watch
death
list.
if you commit more than one murder. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of a lot. Okay.
But yeah, so.
Yeah, hardly call that irrelevant. While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove that you had nothing to do with the murder even though you tapped her phone? Huh, like to see her pull that one off. Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Huh, she's good.
Well, you're not the first man who's thought that, and of course I can and will.
Can't be serious, no way.
Way, I say. Way. Oh, and I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so the killing happened around 9 o'clock at night. Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy.
Room service.
Which, if it's charged to her card, she has proof that she was in the hotel room. No, actually it doesn't, because she could have called by phone.
Yeah, she could have called by phone.
So she still has no proof she wasn't in the room.
She could also be working with the bellboy. Who knows?
The bellboy could have been the one to kill the guy.
This could be a conspiracy that goes all the way up to the top of the courts. I forget what that's a quote from, but it's such a great one because it's like, who knows? Maybe I'm also the murderer, says the judge. And it's like...
That sounds like something that would have directly come from a Phoenix Wright game.
Yes, it kind of does.
In fact, didn't you say in one of the episodes that you can accuse the judge of being the murderer and
Yes,
he
it is
instantly throws the case out?
Yes, it is great. It's great. I think it happens in the second game and it's amazing.
Oh.
You take infinite damage. It's great. If you actually hack it to make it so that you're constantly gaining health, he will constantly keep draining your health. Iced coffee, I believe it was. Sorry, I took your line.
I've taken some of Fee and Nix's lines, it's okay. Iced coffee, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts, and then you have regular cold coffee. Oh.
Iced coffee?
Yep, definitely sounds American to me.
Why not iced tea? Oh, you think I'm barbaric?
Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy. Wink.
There we go. The witness was not at the scene of the crime.
She could have called it in, or the bellboy could also be the one working at the crime.
Phoenix goes, actually, Edgeworth, I never said she was at the scene of the crime. I'm just saying she's covering up for someone. It's like, oh. She still wasn't there. So where does that leave us? It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever.
Yes, it does, because it makes her in conspiracy.
Yeah.
She directly knows who is responsible for the death.
Mm-hmm.
And unless she starts to sing, she's gonna get time. It's in her best interest right now to name the person. And
But now she's trying to say that she has no involvement in the case because at the time of the murder, the bellboy was giving her room service.
That doesn't answer our question, though.
I know, but this is where they go with Phoenix Wright, where it goes, I can't have committed the murder. I
was jumping through 5 trapeze hoops.
Yeah. Her testimony stands. No, I'm gonna just let her walk away? There's no way I can win this unless a time is made to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? No, well, come on, think of something. Let's call the bellboy as a witness, because I think continuing to examine her will just lead us with nothing.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how well this goes.
Yeah, because...
The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness.
Oh, so we're going to spend about a half hour plus to ship him in and off of work.
There's something suspicious here, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
I think you would have sunk quite low enough already.
I object to calling to the bellboy.
When he could clear your witness? Why are you objecting? You should be all over this, Edgeworth.
Because he knows that it's flimsy in the first place. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing.
Yes, but it's gonna corroborate her story that it had nothing to do with the killing.
Yes. Which
So
means...
you should let me bring him in and begin to cross-examine him.
However, if you agree to one condition, I will consent to calling this witness. Condition? If Ms. April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, thus she is innocent.
I will admit she's not the killer. That's not what we're here to talk about. She's an accomplice. She didn't actually do the blunt force trauma smashing.
I know, but they assumed that you were going to say, yeah, she's the murderer because she has something involved, because she's the only other person we haven't talked to in this entire case.
But she's not the murderer!
Yeah, we know that. Thereby,
I'm so frustrated. And it's probably because I took Excedrin and I'm so high-keyed right now.
And thereby, you must also accept the verdict of guilty from Miss Maya Fey. Well, can't really do that, but yeah, I'll find something. Don't worry. Because we know that she's not the killer, so we gotta find some piece of evidence. That's my condition. What? I better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? accept the condition. Alright. Got nothing to lose except for, well, everything.
So he's saying if we don't find something suspicious, it calls it into question. Because he was saying that regardless of what we find, they're going to call her guilty.
Effectively, yeah. Unless we can continue down this line of thought, we lose. Understood. I accept your condition. Fool. Fell right into my trap. Oh. Oh, wait. Very well. The court calls the bellboy to the stand.
About 45 minutes pass?
Yeah, I believe we will call the episode here, and next time we're gonna talk to the bellboy.
Mm-hmm.
See you guys then.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.